What's up, guys? Fantasy Aristotle back, and we are in the new studio. I am loving it. New studio, who dis? I love the backdrop. I love the way it came out. There's a few things here and there that we're going to be working on, tidying things up. But here it is. Maybe add a few things to the backdrop here. But I am loving the way it's come out. So I'm ready to get back at it. And first big news in the studio, we're going to be talking about Dak Prescott signing with the Dallas Cowboys. It is a 4-year, $160 million deal, 126 fully guaranteed. This is a lot of money for him, so I'm happy for him getting his dues. Now let's get into breaking down the contract, because there are some weird things and some pretty cool things, I would say, here in the contract. So pretty much going to break down to 42 a year. 75 is due in the first year, which is a new record for the NFL. Also $66 million signing bonus, so that's a record for the NFL as well. The weird thing is, over the first 3 years of this contract, he's actually going to be making $29 million more than Patrick Mahomes. So do we think Dak is $29 million better than Mahomes? I don't think so, but here it is. Quarterbacks always have to get the next biggest deal. It's just how it goes. Somebody takes a pay cut, then the owners are going to use that against them. So the quarterbacks always have to go bigger and better when they are due. So he also has a no trade clause. But the coolest part of this is it's pretty much just going to be a no franchise tag clause. It's one big thing that he's been worried about. He's 28 now, so by the time this contract is up, he's going to be 31 years old, and they cannot franchise tag him, which means they have to pay him, whether they put in the no franchise tag clause or not. The cool thing is, in 2025, this contract expires 5 days after the end date for the franchise tag, so they couldn't franchise tag him. The nice thing about this year for the Cowboys is he's only going to be a $22 million cap hit this year instead of a $37 million cap hit if they would have franchise tagged him. So that saves them roughly about $15 million that they can use towards putting up a good O-line, because they do have weapons. They could probably use that to secure the defense a little bit better, which has been suspect in the last couple of years. But I don't see having a top paid quarterback working out for them. It hasn't worked out in NFL circles for winning a Super Bowl. It's always been a lower paid, outside of the top 10 paid quarterback winning the Super Bowl. Kind of the same way as it is with paying running backs. You don't have to have a top paid running back to win the Super Bowl either. The last 15 years have proven that, where you don't have a top paid running back, which they do have. So now they're going to have a top paid running back and a top paid quarterback. They also have a pretty high paid receiver in Amari Cooper. So we'll see if their new big three contracts will actually produce for them on the field. Now, what does this do for fantasy purposes? Pretty much nothing. It's going to be the same as it was the first little bit of the season before he got hurt. I really don't see a huge difference in fantasy value depending on their offensive line. Now, if they have a terrible offensive line, which is looking like they might, because they have lost a few pieces on that offensive line, and they've gotten older and hurt the last couple of years, so they haven't been super healthy like they were a few years ago when they went 13-3 and then they lost in the second round of the playoffs. All in all, it's a good contract. It is voidable after the the fourth or fifth and sixth season. So pretty much they can clear off his cap after 2025 and only pay 126 instead of paying him 160, saving some cap space. They can't franchise tag him, which I hope happens in the future, because that kind of just puts the the owners in control of almost your whole career, because you can sign, essentially what happens is you sign a 5-year rookie deal, 4-year with a 5th-year team option. So that means you're under control of the team for 5 years, and then they can transition, or they can franchise tag you for up to 3 years after that. So that means 8 years of your life you have no control over what you do. So I do like the fact that we're kind of seeing more NBA stuff where players are starting to take power for themselves and they can request trades and whatnot. A lot of people hate it, but I like it. You're signing a contract with a team. If you don't fulfill your end of the contract, they can let you go right then and there. I feel like it should be the same way. You're signing a contract with a team in hopes that they are doing their best to win a Super Bowl as well, because that's what it is. That's the main main goal of every team is to win a Super Bowl. So if your team's not fulfilling their end of the contract and getting players around you to build for a team, I feel like you should be able to just leave, avoid the contract like they are able to do to you. So I like seeing the no franchise tag rule in this, and I hope we start seeing more of it. We are starting to see more fully guaranteed contracts come out as well, like we do see in baseball and basketball. So I'm all for it. I hope this trend continues, and we will see what happens with the Cowboys at free agency, and we will get back to you with some more news, because I guarantee you more news is coming. So down on the bottom, just follow, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and we will see you guys with the next big news drop. See ya.